as we head to Denver. The Avs, they've moved on in a sweep. They're hoping that Denver Nuggets continue to play playoff basketball. Nikola Jokic. Bruce Brown drops the hammer. A little head fake from Jokic. Denver up 7. AINT, no DiVincenzo. He's done for the year with the Achilles. No AINT for Minnesota for a period of time anyway with the knee. So you expect Jokic to probably be his best tonight. He's going to have to be here as the shot clock and the game clock in the first half wind down. A deep three. Jokic buries that. His third career playoff half with 10 or more points and assists, the most by any player since 97-98. It's a 9-point Denver lead at the break. Jokic, Murray, baseline, beautiful assist. The two stars at their best for Denver in this one as they lead by 19. Spencer Jones on the break. And Denver's rolling. Now it's Jokic, Christian Brown, down the lane. This Timberwolf defense has been hellacious throughout these playoffs here. Denver's getting theirs as they lead by 21. T-Wolves continue to fight. Oh, Nasri with the handles. Float game. Cuts the deficit to 10 after being down 27. This is a big moment. Off the knockaway, Murray gets the breakaway, and the lead is growing. It's up to 15. And now, Jokic, he's like, here, you want it? What are we doing? The shenanigans again? All right, here's Murray on the victory by a dozen.
Focus, energy, some excitement. You know, we had to play like we was down 3-1, so I think we did a good job of just bringing the energy into the game and playing for 48 minutes, you know, making it, just not letting off the gas, and, you know, we did a good job of just getting the win.
Coach Adelman talked to us before the game about guys on the roster not named Jamal Murray or Nikola Jokic contributing. What can you say about your teammates and the way they played tonight?
I mean, amazing. That's what we needed. Just everybody was in a flow and a rhythm. Guys on time and on target in their space and in their spots, and played hard on defense. That's all we can ask for. So I thought it was a great team win, a great team effort, and we're going to need more of that.
A game 6 now in Minnesota. How do you just bring this same type of effort on the road?
It's the same situation. So we got to bring the same energy. I think we got to be poised, be relaxed when we go into their building. You know, no one's going to be rowdy. No one's going to be a fun, exciting game for them. So we just got to keep our composure and you know, limit the mistakes that we make on the court. So if we do that, we'll get a chance to win.
So the Nuggets season remains alive. Denver favored to win the series now as the Timberwolves, due to that knee issue for Anthony Edwards, expected to miss the rest of the series. Nuggets 6.5-point favorites Thursday in Minnesota, a -150 favorite to win the series. Janae Ogwumike joins us to discuss just that. We know that AINT is out. We know that, unfortunately, another Achilles for Dante, another Achilles injury, in the playoffs, and the NBA's had a number of those in the last couple of years. So the Minnesota situation is going to be the same, but Denver's the one that has to win. What's your sense of what we see in this next game, Game 6 back in Minnie?
First of all, Scott, you had me laughing out loud when you called out Jokic's shenanigans at the end. That tickled me because it's something we've seen over the course of this series. But you know what actually lives rent-free in my head as a basketball analyst? I know it's been more of a human series for Nikola Jokic, but I feel like my anxiety as an analyst is that we're going to look back in a decade or 2 decades and ask ourselves, were we too casual with Nikola Jokic's greatness? Were we too casual with him being one of the greatest offensive scorers and generators ever? This was Jokic's third triple-double when facing elimination in the playoffs. And yes, we know that a number of the Timberwolves stars are out. And Edwards is superstar. But still, are we desensitized to what he's doing? 16 assists. And the usual suspect, Jamal Murray, who you just heard, was typically on the receiving end, but it wasn't just him. Jamal averages, 26 on 50% shooting in elimination games. But Spencer Jones had a playoff career high 20. Cam Johnson had a nice dunk. He was flowing out there. So when you think about Jokic's impact, it's not just that he gets you near 30. It's the fact that he's consistently getting you at his best, 15 to 17 assists. And the transformative power of Nikola Jokic is that he can take a role player, a star in their role, and get you all-star production just by how he passes the ball.
It's so difficult to have conversations about star players because people take their side up and they're gonna rep their guy and say the other guy sucks. That's just how NBA conversations tend to go, and that's what happens, I think, with Jokic. As you asked the casual question, I'd ask if he feels pressure, but he seems not to. But I feel like if you're Denver, Chiney, you without Ant and with no Dante, like as rugged as Minnesota is, and all credit to them for who they've been. Denver has to figure out how to win this series. I feel like all the pressure's on Denver down 3-2 to figure out how to get this thing home and win it. Don't you feel the same?
Completely agree. Absolutely. And a lot of people might say, oh, it should be a layup for the Denver Nuggets to win. Have you not been watching this Timberwolves team? They have been galvanized. They have been galvanized because on the surface level, a lot of people would say, hey, no Ant, that's 30 points per game. But really, Rudy Gobert has been masterful. You have a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year guarding that 3-time MVP. And so it's not a walk in the park. They're going to have to go on the road and do it again. And we've seen what it looks like. And lastly, I'll say this, SVP. I understand why many Minnesota fans get their favorite players tattooed on them because they play with their heart on their sleeve. And so this is still not easy. Denver will have to show up.
We completely agree. We completely agree. It's like a legacy question, though, for Denver. After the title, they have not been great in the playoffs. It feels like this is one they got to figure out a way. We will chat with you on the other two games that were time since seeding began in '84 that an 8 has a 3-1 lead on a 1 in a best-of-7 series. In 4 of the previous 5 instances, the 8 won the series. Some hope, though, for Pistons fans, including our very own DeCourty. The only 1 seed to ever erase this deficit and win was Detroit in 2003 against Orlando. Jamal Mosley knows. Still need one more win. Job's not finished.
I wanted to go in there with that clip of Kobe saying, hey, job's not done, job's not done. But the reality is the job is not done. We've given ourselves a chance and put ourselves in position with a 3-1 lead to go get the 4th. And that's it.
It's shocking you guys that you're in this position now.
I mean, going into it, shocked. But with the way that we've been playing, you know, that stuff's not good enough to win games. And this league's too good. They're a good team. So, you know, they're out-rebounding us, turning me over, and we haven't hit enough shots. Our defense hasn't caught its footing, so, you know, it's not shocking that we're losing the games playing like that.
Chiney Ogwumike talk Magic, yes. This team was reeling at the end of the season. They made it the hard way through the play-in to get here, up 3-1. So, by all means, let's tip our cap. But on the other side, we're talking about a 1 seed, and I'm looking for some explanation of what Detroit is doing that explains their performance. What would you say to try to explain it away?
Scott, let me get a stab at this because this honestly is a textbook situation of not putting too much weight on seeds. It's quite baffling because in large spurts, the 8th seed looks better than the 1 seed because the playoffs are honestly, truly about matchups more than seeds. The Orlando Magic actually match up really well with the Detroit Pistons. And when you break it down, each team is led by stars. You have Cade Cunningham and you have Paolo Banchero. At times, they can neutralize each other. At times, they can go shot for shot. But this series is really dictated by the sub-layer, by the next tier. Because Desmond Bane, my goodness, he's found his shot. Franz Wagner has been unguardable off the dribble versus the Detroit Pistons. And you have to include Wendell Carter, who has won the battle of the paint versus the first-time All-Star in Jalen Duren. They have been outplaying the next tier of the Detroit Pistons, Jalen Duren and Tobias Harris and company. And from the opening play, I knew that there were probably going to be issues for Detroit. They tried to give the ball to Jalen Duren because he has been averaging around, 10 points in this series, shooting 40%. And what happened on that play? It got picked off. It was telegraphed. And it was converted on the other end for the Orlando Magic. So right now you have to tip your cap because the defense and also improved offense of the Magic has been great. But right now it is quite shocking that Detroit can't find more diversity to really be better opponents in this series.
Sit tight. We have a 1 seed who certainly looks the part after the highlight of the Thunder roll, and we will visit with you on that. Thunder are a wagon.
What's your budget on this show?
Let's see. Oh, it's extensive. There, the horses, well, the feet move for a bit, then they stop. Looking for the sweep in Phoenix. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander off the amazing Game 3. 15 of 18 from the floor. Dylan Brooks, how do you stop him?
He's efficient, and I got him